with Onos.
Hi there, welcome to Real Deal with Onos. I'm super excited because today's session is going to be informative, educative, transforming, and life-changing. My name is Onos Ariyo, and this is Real Deal.
Real testimonies, real encounters, real experiences. Real Deal with Onos.
My guest today is someone I have known for like forever. She is part of my team. She works in the oil and gas industry as an administrative personnel. She's an entrepreneur. She's a stylist extraordinaire. She's the founder of Kome's Place. Today, join me, receive none other. See her with her glasses. Hey, she came ready.
Yeah.
Kome!
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, Kome has so many testimonies, but I've told her to give us like a 2-in-1
Okay.
kind of testimony today. It will bless you. I'm looking forward to it. So, Kome, over to you. God has been good. Tell us about His
God
goodness.
has been so good. I don't have another word. I don't have another testimony. I've known the testimony of Jesus for all my life. You know, He has a way of showing up at every different phases, different stages. You know, so I'll see how I can just infuse all the stories into one. Okay, I would stick to the story of how God set me up for the partner I'm with now, my husband. Okay, so
Sounds juicy.
very juicy. I tell you. Okay, so I'll start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
We're in a good relationship. We were in love, but we forgot about
In love.
But we forgot about one serious thing. It's called genotype. So we had everything going for us. We had this nice relationship, but we just didn't check about genotype. But we had already made a step to get married.
Okay.
And my sister called me up on a particular day to say, "Okay, thank you. You're getting ready, but you don't check your genotype."
Okay.
My heart caught. Fing. I said, "Okay, that's something, because
Wow.
I honestly didn't think about it." And she said, "In the house, I think you are the AS." And I said, "No, it can't be me because I already knew that he was AS." So that's when fear came in and so after all these plans and everything,
Yeah.
what if he was AS and I was AS? God, would I just call this whole thing off and all that? So I talked about it with him.
Okay.
So he was really concerned and said, "You know what? There's no point. Let's go check it up."
Okay.
I didn't want to because maybe I was already seeing the relationship not working.
Okay. Because of the.
Yes,
yeah.
I don't think I'll be ready to bring an SS.
Yeah.
To come to the fore to bear. So we went to. I remember it was around the Yaba area. Buela was a lab.
Yeah. You went to
So,
the lab,
but before we got there, he told me he's a fake man. He's a fake man. So he called me and said, "You know what? We could just pray a prayer of agreement." He
Okay.
brought a glass of water, I remember,
Okay.
and he prayed over the water, and we drank it.
Concussion.
So we went there. I was happy when they told us we weren't going to get the results soon because I just didn't want to. I was really apprehensive. So we went. It was time to come collect the results. I couldn't go, so I sent him to go on our behalf. So the day he was going to come, I was just waiting. You know, I just waited, and believe me, he came. AA.
Are you serious? Amazing.
He was AA, and I was AA.
As in both of you, not just
I
one.
was scared.
Amazing.
So I said, "Oh, that means maybe God's hand is in this relationship." So, so that's how it started. And believe me, it's been an amazing journey with my spouse. So
You guys got married.
we got married.
After that first testimony, it was almost like the first hurdle you had to
you're just speaking my mind. So that's it. So we just thought, okay, so we've passed the first one. Nothing, nothing much.
When you get into the marriage, everything smooth.
Everything just happening. Believe me, things were happening. God's grace and favor was there. And I'm going to say this because maybe most people or most couples go into marriages and they just plan. We didn't want to get a child for the first 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
But we didn't tell anybody about it. It was our own decision.
Okay. So when it was time to have kids,
we would now try. So
Okay.
I was working not to have kids, and I'm telling you the truth. I was in with contraceptives.
Okay.
without my mommy's consent, I was just doing what I thought. We were just doing what we thought was, but God just brought the first child a couple of months after we got married. In the midst of that contraceptive, I got my first
God
daughter.
blocked it.
So maybe like God was looking at her and saying, just do what you're doing. I'll do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you sometime, you get married, you get pregnant. It's a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
Until you are in a situation, you wouldn't know how it is.
Yeah.
So here was I not thinking to get pregnant. And here was God saying, no, this is what I want for you.
For you.
And Zoe came. She's my first.
Which goes to say that God has the blueprint of our lives.
Exactly.
No matter what you're going through, He has a blueprint. I just thought to chip that in. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how Zoe came.
Yeah.
And, that's that. I faced the greatest challenge of my life when I got pregnant for my son. So it was, yes, my first pregnancy was a little bit challenging, but it was nothing compared to that's my major testimony today, because you go through challenges and sometimes you don't see how you're going to come out of it. It was good when I got pregnant. I was still singing with you, because I had plans that like this pregnancy, I'm going to rock it. Like I'm going to do things that I've not been able to do before.
You're going to get all the Kome's place outfits.
I'm going to do all the shoots. Nothing. I couldn't do nothing. After the first trimester, it started getting difficult. I started getting signs in pregnancy that when you read about them, you get to know that, you see it is written there, 0.1 or 2% of women ever get to go through such things. Every 2 weeks, something new comes up. There was one major one, it's called it's Kataya.
You say what?
No, okay. Okay. It's a pain at the back of your buttocks. It goes down to your leg. I couldn't walk. I had to go to work. So people see you in the office and you're walking somewhere, and you first get belay. Waiting. Do you understand? So it was embarrassing, but I would just go read about it and I said, God, this is what I read, but this is not what it is for me.
Yeah.
For every step of the way, I learned positive declarations. Like, yes, I know this is what it is, but I don't say it back to myself.
Yeah.
So I guess I had to stay indoors. I wasn't going to church. Then I had to do online service. The family goes to church. I'll just be at home. I was becoming a sad person. Because there was one really very trying one where I don't sleep at night. I scratch. I scratch like a mad person.
And all that happened before
the baby came.
Before he came.
Before the baby came. I had to do selective CS.
Okay.
The truth is, after everything, if I had not decided that particular date to bring that baby out, if I had stayed one more day, it would be another story. Forget it.
Wow. So how was when the baby came? How was that after the baby came? That
when the baby came, I
hospital?
just thought everything was okay now, because the truth is God prepares you ahead of time. There was a particular day just before I put to bed in January 2019.
Yeah.
They all went to church. I was singing and praying. I got an extra strength that day because I usually don't get up. I just sit down. So I added a lot of weight and I was just there. But that day, when they were coming from church, they were hearing my voice from the door. I was jumping, I was speaking in tongues with a particular song. I don't forget it. The song says, by the Spirit we overcame. Even in the storm. So the word just came alive, and that's how I got strength. But my spirit told me that I was doing something for the future that day. I settled it that day. So when my husband came, I told him, I said, something is going on with this song. I had it on repeat for the whole time they were in church. It was a Sunday till they got back. When my baby came out, the first day he came, that was when we started seeing the real challenges, because I thought the baby came and I would just be okay. The very first day, he cried.
Okay.
Towards the evening when my mom came, I saw she was asking some questions, but I was too weak to really, I just thought everything was fine. He didn't eat. He stopped crying. And I would just see the doctors, they'll come around the bed and they're talking, they don't want me to hear model tones and all that. So I just started praying in my spirit that this baby's here.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can happen. Before you know, I saw my husband's face too. and they were calling someone, and it was a strictly it was a hospital for the mom. It's not a children's hospital.
Yeah.
So believe me, it was getting worse. So my mom didn't want to explain to me, but she was aware. It went so bad that we had to use an ambulance to rush that baby out of that hospital. That should be a Sunday. I gave it on Saturday or on Friday. We managed that situation. The hospital managed the situation on Sunday. On Saturday, on Sunday, we had to take the baby out. We were even using the ambulance to get there on time. Traffic in Lagos. We're trying to leave Lekki to Ikoyi, where the doctor said there was someone waiting. Believe me, on the way, why do you use the ambulance? You want to be able to get,
past the traffic.
The light stopped working.
Oh my goodness.
My husband was driving behind. The nurse was in the ambulance car with my mom. My mom now, she's been blasting. My husband had to take the child from the ambulance. In his own car. And drove like a madman. He finally got to Ikoyi. There was nobody on ground. Even after nobody was waiting, there was no pediatrics doctor there to attend to him. So I had insisted to take that child to a particular hospital in Vienna.
So whilst you were there, you guys wanted to move the child again. Few days old.
Yes, we had to move, and it was a respiratory infection. So he wasn't breathing
properly.
So we had to bring him back to Villa. I was just there alone, so
that means you were not even aware.
I already knew because it took him from me. So my imagination was running
wild.
What's going on? I couldn't even call anybody. Nobody was calling me. We finally got to VI. It was a Saturday. I must correct that it was a Saturday because the doctors were out. The doctor who got sent, she went for an Owambe close to her hospital.
Owambe is party.
She came in with her Ariyo and Buba.
Wow.
She came in, flung it. My husband was telling me all this,
Because you were not there.
I wasn't there. So she came in, and from the phone on her way to, she was already, telling the doctors, because it was a weekend. You wouldn't see doctors on ground. She came and oxygens, you could see the pictures and all that. So he was there for a number of days. I get feedback, so my mom had to leave me alone. I was alone because my husband had to. They needed more attention with the baby. So I was praying. Then I had people who would just send me message. Congratulations, we heard you.
All of us were congratulating you.
I didn't reply because the devil was telling me, "What? Why are you saying thank you? What if?"
The devil was trying to make sure that your testimony was not complete.
Exactly. So I would see the messages, I would see the phone calls, I would not take them. Somewhere in my heart, I was accepting defeat. Subtly, the devil was sowing the seed into me. Just do and get up. It's not a bad thing. You can try again. And I was. So there was a particular day after praying, I told myself, no, I would respond to those congratulatory messages and tell them thank you. The baby has come. The baby will stay.
Yeah.
So that particular
you had to start
day,
saying what you wanted to
exactly.
say.
I started speaking back to myself. I took my phone. I replied everybody on WhatsApp and told them I'm not home yet because it was longer than usual.
Yeah.
Everyone who knows I've given birth would expect to come to the house. So they had been messaged. They said, want to come up? I said, please, not yet. Not yet. The baby had so many complications. There was something, even for me, the results were saying gestational diabetes. So they were calling me from the children's hospital to say, what's the history of this pregnancy? Because they weren't there from the beginning. So the questions they were asking me, I was saying, no, this can't be me now. This is not my profile health-wise because I know myself now. I went for antenatals. I got treatment. I knew, so the feedback I was getting, like, when did all these things develop? There was too much fluid, there was this, doing this. So I was hearing a lot of negative things that were really draining my strength, draining my faith. The truth is, if we had not settled things in the spirit realm, the physical was going to take over. It was just a slim chance. God just stepped in as at the time he did. The boy, there was a hole in his chest. You've seen pictures. So it was time for me to feed my baby. They said he had feeding disorder, and I couldn't breastfeed him. Even when it was time for him to try, I couldn't produce milk. So all funds, it was the heaviest burden I had, but I went back to God. And I told my husband, let's start calling this boy by his name. Let's start, everybody, yes, it's not yet naming ceremony, but you have a name for a child. And the way I got the name for him, it was during the process of that pain in the pregnancy. It was a special gift from God. The signs were there to show. So I said, babe, we have to start calling this boy. He's not going anywhere. So when he goes there on visit, he speaks to the child. When he comes back with the pictures, I speak to my baby away from me. It was difficult, but I had to do that. Finally, I was discharged. I went straight to leave
to go and continue the speaking.
They said, no, go back home. You are still. And it was so funny that before I went into labor, I had not done CS before. How long does it take? They were so optimistic. They gave me the time. The time they even, they just thought. I was still lying down like a bag. I couldn't stand, and it was already time for me to do those things. I couldn't get up. I couldn't help myself, and I needed to hold my child. So everything was like, day in, something worse comes in. Then they said, okay, he was getting better, but at the time, it's what do you call that? The jaundice or
for the eyes.
So I would go, I would sit all night. Then I don't sleep. They'll come, they'll talk to me. I cry. I watch his heart rate. So it's pumping. I would just press the bell. When he just goes to, I just press the bell. They'll come throughout the night. I am my mom. My mom, what we do without our mothers?
Mothers are the best.
My mom would stand and speak in tongues. When I hear her, I just do the same.
So it's like you're drawing strength.
Yes, we were watching that boy, but I told myself, I am leaving this place with my baby. They drove me home. The doctors there said I have to go home on that particular day. The next day, they didn't even tell me they were bringing my baby home. I was at home, and my mom calls to say, we are at the gate. I said, where did you leave my baby? He said, the baby is with her there. I fell on the floor and I said, God, this is just you. I wasn't expecting the baby home that day. My mom said the doctors had done all they could do. Let's let God take it up from
Yeah.
So we left that hospital.
That is the message there.
We left that hospital with a list of things we were to do, we were to continue doing, with labs we were supposed to take that baby to for further x-rays and checks. For each day, my mom and my husband would take the baby for the checks. They'll bring him back to my house. I was happy that at least it's not the hospital. I was grateful that I brought my baby home.
Yeah.
It was what I spoke.
Yeah. The things you were speaking.
Yes.
The
so I
words
said, if
you
I
were
told the
speaking.
baby is not fine yet, but the baby is in my house.
Yeah.
And as far as the baby is in my house, this baby has come to stay. It's
Yeah.
going nowhere.
Amazing. For someone who is listening to this, I know this testimony is inspiring someone today and right now. I wanted to just speak to someone who's probably going through, it may not be a baby situation, but someone who's going through something, and the person is literally trying to find their way around that situation. Hey, Kome has a word for you. Just speak to that person right now.
The first thing I would say, do not accept negativity.
Yep.
Do not give into it. It's going to come. There's going to be the time where you say, okay, let's just, because I remember there was a time I told myself, okay, what if this baby goes?
You were already trying to
That was me and God. I said, God, okay, if you want to take him, take him. You are still God. It doesn't change you. I got to that point. I knew I said that to God. Okay, so what if? But I know that you are going to come true for me.
So do not allow.
Do not settle for negativity. You speak it. Believe me, there's power in the words we speak.
Yeah.
God showed it to me. You have it because you said it.
Yeah. Amazing.
So that person out there, you might think it's a dead situation. Whatever the situation might be, please do not accept negativity. Speak positive. Listen to good music. Build your spirit. Believe. Just believe. It happens.
Yeah.
At the weakest time, you'll be surprised how that light just shines at the end of that tunnel. And like when the baby came home, I'm like, all is over. Like when I saw him at home, so if he's at home, then we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Even after I was nursing him, and you could see my feet was all swollen. When he was home with me, we had other challenges with my health, but I saw it as nothing. Why?
Really, the boy
I
is
came
there,
out
so-
of this one.
Yeah.
If God handled, come on. Like my husband even told me, he said, "You forgot God was able to change our genotype.
Type.
This one is small for him."
Amazing.
So that's what challenges do for us. If you've seen things God has done for you in time past, it gives you strength and courage to say, if God did that, He's more than able to do this.
To someone listening to this, the God we serve is more than able.
Yeah.
He's faithful. He will bring you out of any situation. Don't go anywhere. We're going on a short break and we'll be right back.
Real testimonies, real encounters, real experiences, real deal with Onos.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground. From through the fiercest drought and storm, what heights of love, what depths of peace. When fears are still, when striving cease, my comforter, my all in all. Here in the love of Christ I stand. Oh, what heights of love and what depths of peace. When fears are still, oh, when striving cease, my comforter, oh, my all in all. Here in the power of Christ I stand. Oh, here in the power of Christ I stand.
You're welcome back to Real Deal with Onos, and Kome has been blessing us with her testimony. Thank you so much for sharing that testimony. Now, let's go to Kome's place. Kome's place.
Hey.
Kome's place. Kome's place. This is Kome's place. The heart is Kome's place. Tell us about Kome's place.
Okay, it's a place where I would provide fun, fashion, stylish items to females, sometimes male, but it's where you could get even ready-to-wear pieces, Nigerian brands. You can also get international brands, anything female, nice stuff, just to spice your outfit up.
And you have on Instagram?
Yes.
So can
On
you
Instagram, it's called @Kome's Place.
Amazing. So all the details, if someone wants to contact Kome,
Just
they
send
can
us a
get
DM.
it.
Yes.
Just
Send me a DM.
Send her a DM. Kome's please.
We can style you up.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kome, for sharing your testimony with us.
Thank
I've
you
been
for
super
having
blessed. Anyone who is dealing with any situation, there's nothing God cannot change. He's able, He's willing, He's faithful,
Amen.
He can do it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our page and subscribe to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/ONOSARIYO. And my name is Onos Ariyo, and this is Real Deal.
Real testimonies, real encounters, real experiences, real deal with Onos.
Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it it chases me down, the fight still. I am found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, yeah. Reckless love of God, yeah, yeah, yeah. The snow's warm, you won't light up. Mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. The snow wall you won't kick down, lion won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, line you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, there's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down, line you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fight still. I am found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Thank you for your saving grace, Jesus. Thank you for your unfailing love, Jesus. Thank you for your saving grace, my Lord.